The year 2022 ushered in a new era of geopolitical uncertainty with the eruption of the Ukraine conflict. This war sent shockwaves through global markets, disrupting supply chains and forcing nations to reassess their energy and security strategies. The conflict has highlighted the interconnectedness of geopolitics and business, showcasing how international crises can create unexpected winners and losers. In this new world order, companies like Germany's Rheinmetall AG and US-based Cheniere Energy have found themselves on the front lines of change, their fortunes directly tied to the evolving geopolitical landscape. The war in Ukraine has forced Europe to confront its vulnerabilities, particularly its dependence on Russian energy. This realization has triggered a wave of rearmament across the continent, with countries significantly increasing their defense budgets. Simultaneously, the urgent need to replace Russian gas has opened up opportunities for energy providers like Cheniere, strategically positioned to meet Europe's energy demands. This essay delves into the contrasting fortunes of Rheinmetall and Cheniere, exploring how these companies leverage geopolitical shifts to their advantage. Rheinmetall AG, a German defense giant with a 135-year history, has emerged as a prime beneficiary of Europe's rearmament drive. Known for its iconic Leopard 2 tank, a mainstay of many European armies, Rheinmetall has seen its order book swell to unprecedented levels. This surge in demand is directly tied to the Ukraine conflict, which has exposed the fragility of European security and the urgent need for increased defense capabilities. Before the war, Rheinmetall's share price had been relatively stagnant. However, the company's fortunes dramatically shifted in 2022. As European nations pledged to bolster their defenses, Rheinmetall's share price skyrocketed, nearly quadrupling in value since the start of the conflict. This surge reflects the company's pivotal role in supplying essential military equipment, including tanks, ammunition, and other defense systems, to European nations scrambling to reinforce their defenses. Germany's Zeitenwende, a €100 billion special fund dedicated to modernizing the German military, has been a significant boon for Rheinmetall. The company has also benefited from increased defense spending across NATO, with member countries committing to allocate at least 2% of their GDP to defense. Furthermore, the high rate of ammunition consumption in the Ukraine conflict, estimated at 10,000 artillery rounds per day, has depleted NATO stockpiles, creating a pressing need for replenishment and further boosting Rheinmetall's business. While Rheinmetall capitalized on the surge in European defense spending across the Atlantic, another company experienced a windfall from a different consequence of the Ukraine war, the energy crisis. Cheniere Energy, a US-based company specializing in liquefied natural gas, found itself strategically positioned to fill the void left by the collapse of Russian gas supplies to Europe. Prior to the war, Russia was a major supplier of natural gas to Europe, providing approximately 40% of the continent's needs. However, the sabotage of the Nord Stream pipelines, a critical artery for Russian gas exports, sent shockwaves through European energy markets. This disruption forced European nations to scramble for alternative sources of natural gas, creating a surge in demand for LNG, a flexible and readily transportable energy source. Cheniere Energy, with its two major LNG export terminals on the US Gulf Coast, was perfectly positioned to capitalize on this shift. The company specializes in exporting LNG, supercooling natural gas into a liquid form for easier transportation by specialized tankers. As European countries sought to reduce their dependence on Russian gas, Cheniere emerged as a key supplier, with its LNG exports to Europe increasing significantly. Section 4. Growth fueled by crisis, a tale of two companies. The contrasting fortunes of Rheinmetall and Cheniere demonstrate how geopolitical crises can create unforeseen opportunities. Both companies, operating in vastly different sectors, have witnessed remarkable growth driven by the repercussions of the Ukraine conflict. Their experiences underscore the profound impact of geopolitical events on business landscapes and the importance of adaptability in navigating these turbulent waters. Rheinmetall's order backlog, a key indicator of future revenue, has ballooned to an unprecedented €17 billion in the first quarter of 2025. This represents a staggering 196% year-over-year increase, highlighting the sustained demand for the company's products. This surge in orders is driven not only by Germany's Zeitenwende, but also by rising NATO budgets, high ammunition consumption in Ukraine, and pan-European demand, with countries like Italy, the Netherlands, and the Czech Republic all seeking to bolster their defenses. Cheniere Energy has experienced equally impressive growth. The company reported $15.7 billion in revenue and $7 billion in earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation and amortization, or EBITDA, in 2024. This financial performance reflects the surge in demand for US LNG, with exports to Europe increasing significantly. Cheniere's long-term contracts, often spanning 15 to 20 years, provide a degree of revenue visibility and stability, further bolstering the company's prospects. Section 5. Navigating the shifting sands. Future prospects and challenges. While both Rheinmetall and Cheniere have benefited from the geopolitical upheaval, their future prospects remain intertwined with the trajectory of the Ukraine conflict and broader geopolitical trends. The continuation of the war, coupled with sustained increases in defense spending by European nations and the ongoing global energy crisis, bodes well for both companies. However, potential risks could undermine their growth trajectories, highlighting the volatile nature of businesses operating in sectors heavily influenced by geopolitical events. For Rheinmetall, the most significant risk is the potential for a peaceful resolution to the Ukraine conflict. While a negotiated settlement would be a welcome development for global stability, it could lead to a decline in defense spending, potentially impacting the company's order book. Additionally, production delays at Rheinmetall's new ammunition plant in Unterlüß, Germany, which aims to produce 450,000 artillery shells annually by 2026, could hamper the company's ability to meet surging demand. Cheniere Energy faces its own set of challenges. While the European Union has outlined a roadmap to end its dependence on Russian energy by 2027, the success of this plan hinges on various factors, including the availability of alternative energy sources and the pace of renewable energy development. Furthermore, potential changes in US policy regarding fossil fuel exports could impact Cheniere's ability to export LNG, while the company's high debt load of $18 billion adds another layer of risk. Section 6. Geopolitics and Business, an Intertwined Destiny. The contrasting fortunes of Rheinmetall and Cheniere underscore the intricate relationship between geopolitics and business. The Ukraine conflict, a defining geopolitical event of our time, has reshaped industries, created winners and losers, and highlighted the importance of adaptability and strategic foresight in navigating a rapidly evolving global landscape. The war in Ukraine has served as a stark reminder that geopolitical risks are not merely abstract concepts but tangible forces that can disrupt markets, upend business models, and create both opportunities and challenges. Companies operating in sectors with a geopolitical dimension, such as defense, energy, and technology, must be particularly attuned to these risks and develop strategies to mitigate potential disruptions while capitalizing on emerging opportunities. Understanding the geopolitical landscape is no longer a luxury, but a necessity for businesses operating in an increasingly interconnected and volatile world. By closely monitoring geopolitical developments, conducting thorough risk assessments, and fostering a culture of adaptability, companies can position themselves to navigate the complexities of the 21st century global economy. Section 7. Conclusion: Adaptability as the key to success. The stories of Rheinmetall and Cheniere offer valuable lessons for businesses operating in an era defined by geopolitical uncertainty. Both companies, though operating in distinct sectors, successfully leveraged the opportunities presented by the Ukraine crisis, demonstrating the importance of adaptability, strategic foresight, and a deep understanding of geopolitical dynamics. In a world grappling with complex challenges, from climate change to resource scarcity and geopolitical instability, businesses must be prepared to adapt to a constantly evolving landscape. The ability to anticipate change, identify emerging trends, and adjust business models accordingly will be crucial for survival and success in the years to come. The companies that thrive in this environment will be those that embrace agility, cultivate a global perspective, and prioritize resilience in the face of uncertainty. By learning from the experiences of companies like Rheinmetall and Cheniere, businesses can navigate the complexities of the geopolitical landscape and position themselves for success in a world in constant flux.